Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of My World Tanks Replays. This time we are in the T28 Prototype on Komarin. This is the third Tier 8 I've gotten, having completed the T25/2, a vehicle I actually enjoyed, somehow, because most people seem to hate it. I don't actually see what's terribly wrong with it, but we're going to, be here in the T28 Prototype in this game. Now, the T28 Prototype, pretty much the entire draw of it is its gun and its armor. I have half of that equation, or more like 2/3. I have the armor because, well, that doesn't really change no matter what you do, but I do not have the top gun. I currently have the 105 from the T25 AT, which I have because of the T25 AT. And that gun is more than acceptable in Tier 8. It does it in Tier 10 as well, but it's just, you don't fulfill your purpose as a tankster nearly as much, and you're not as flexible, because you don't have that very high penetration that the top gun on this does, but the 105 is certainly a very doable gun on this vehicle. And so I'm going to head out west here because our team is almost entirely east. So I need to send my massive slab of 200 millimeters of armor over here to help out. Now, the nice thing about having a very, very high raw armor thickness is that a lot of guns simply will not penetrate you at any range, at any angle, whatever. And in Tier 8, that happens, the things that happen to fall into that category are things like the IS-6. The IS-6 will have major issues getting through the frontal armor of this thing. Even the weak spot of this, which is actually in the cheek right there, when you're looking at it from the front, that's only some 160 millimeters effective, I think. Pop over here and take some shots. We can go back into the fixed camera. But even the IS-6 will struggle to penetrate there. So this is very much a bully to the lower penetration Tier 8s, especially the Tier 8 premiums, because they generally have guns that do 170, 175 penetration. Even the FCM-50T, with its actually pretty damn good gun, and the T32 with its gun, will struggle to frontally penetrate this thing. So we take out that E25 there. I don't know quite what he was thinking, nor do I know what that F5916 was thinking. So, yeah, we got 2 kills. I would like to point out that I was extremely tired while playing this game, I think. And I kind of wasn't all there, so I didn't even realize how I was doing in this game. Take a shot at the 3002 there. 3002 has almost no chance of going through my armor, just unless he has a side shot, because that is one of the major flaws with this vehicle, is that you cannot angle it because it only has 50 millimeters of side armor, which is very frustrating sometimes as we put a shot into the back of that T34 and almost puts me down later, you will see. But pretty much I'm pretty oblivious in this game. I'm just shooting at things that are red and sitting here in a nice hold down position. Like, I'm not playing stupid. I'm certainly not playing stupid. I'm just not all there when I was playing this game. So I picked up my 3rd kill, and I didn't even realize I was doing well at this point. I was just like, oh yeah, it's a standard game, whatever. IS-6 seemed to have been eaten up by his track. AMX 5100, he will not have the easiest time going through my armor either. So I'll send a shot into him. I will gladly move up. E25, also going to have a lot of problems with my armor, though I managed to hit his gun mantlet. Trolly little gun mantlet on the E25, that is. And we pick up our 4th kill on that AMX 5100. So I'm just going to plow forward at the nice leisurely pace that the T28 Prototype always travels. Just looking at where I got hit there. Not in any place that was going to penetrate from those tanks. But we do have to deal with these two IS-6s we've seen, which shouldn't be too much of a problem. There's also this E-25 here, but that should just be really, really easy child's play, because he's just not going to be able to hurt me. Though, I managed to hit his mantlet again. Really want to kill this stupid E-25. I get a high damage roll for it, so at least I was lucky there. I would like to get a shot at this T-34, but this precarious side of the turret is never a guaranteed. Oh, and there's an SU-122. Oh, but I do track damage to him. I actually think at this point in the game I was thinking I was having a bad game because of the amount of just non-damaging hits I was getting. But on an IS-6 we also have to aim as well. We can't easily go through the front of an IS-6, but we certainly can with the proper angle and the proper shot choice. So we're going to move in on this IS-6, because he's not really too much of a threat, because he shouldn't be able to hurt me that much. Fortunately, I fire a little too early. I not quite flattened out the angle on that IS-6 yet. And now the problem is that I'm kind of in a position where I have to angle in order to keep the frontal armor face towards both. Luckily, I bounced it off the SU-122. But as you see, even if I split the gap between these two vehicles, my side armor is going to be penetrable. So I need to take out this SU-122 before he gets around me. That would be very nice. And if he gets behind me, there's nothing I can do about it. I need to just simply move on, because this thing can't even traverse his gun back there, first of all. And my turret doesn't turn fast. You see there, the IS-6 may have fired gold, or I couldn't really tell. I only saw it briefly. But I have a stuck turret trying to shoot the T-29. I'm just eating up shells at this point. A bunch of shots have gone through my side, and one through my front, which may have been the T-29, I couldn't tell. T-34 takes out the IS-6, so now we just need to worry about this T-29. But he takes me out. I don't know where he shot, but well played to him. He was able to take me out, but little did I know, I had 5 kills. As you see, this is about where I noticed it, when the guy said, "Well, shit, Wedge." I'm guessing that was, well, I don't know if the stars are actually accurate. I've never looked at that, but that could be shit. I don't know. But, yeah, it was a much better game than I had thought at the time, so let's just, yeah, I think that was a gold round from the IS-6, because that went right through the thickest plate of armor on the vehicle, so that was a little weird. So we're just going to watch out the end of this game, because the game will be over pretty shortly. IS-6 has almost no health left. Yeah, I was not entirely happy in chat, because I was holding down very well, and as I understand when they were penetrating me, when I was exposing my sides, when I finally got locked down in position, it was a little frustrating that he was able to go right through my giant slab of armor, but such is life. Sometimes you have to accept it. It's a game feature, you have to live with it, even though you may not like it. So that's the end of the game. And let's see how exactly we did. So on to the after action report. And welcome to the after action report. So yeah, you could say that was a pretty damn good game. Yeah, 54,201 credits, 4,100 experience earned. Yeah, and a mastery badge. So very nice game indeed. Ignore the phone sound in the background. Yeah, so what did I do damage-wise? Because I ended up doing a lot more damage than I was aware of at the time. We had 307 damage to the AMX 5100, 693 to the IS-6, 315 to the T-34, 152 to the VK3002D to finish him off, 232 to finish off the E25, 153 to finish off the other E25, 337 to the SU-122-44, and 530 to the 5916. In the other column, for criticals, we also damaged the track and injured the driver of the IS-6, as well as destroying the track of the T29, destroying the turret of the 3002D, knocking out or damaging the track of the E25, injuring the gunner of the other E25, and damaging the track of the SU-122, as well as 372 spotting damage to the AMX-5100, 808 spotting damage to the T29, 1,098 spotting damage to the 3002, 240 spotting damage to the E25, and 421 spotting damage to the SU-122. So a lot of spotting damage there too as well. And as you see in the team score, that adds up to 1,367 base experience with a 2,719 damage 5-kill game. I don't know, but I would say that's pretty damn good. That is a pretty damn good game. And if you go over the detailed report, we can see that I did pretty much a little bit of everything. Now, as for shots fired, 23, 20 hit, and 14 penned. That was me being an idiot at mostly shooting like an idiot at the gun mantlet of E25s and very poor shots on IS-6s. That's mostly my fault. You should be able to do a little better than that with the 105 in a tier 8 game. As for damage, 2,719 with the 14 penetrations, as well as receiving 22 hits, 7 of which penned, 15 of which bounced, for a total potential damage received of 6,370. So I dealt 2,719 damage, I received 6,370 damage, and I also spotted for 2,939 damage. So you can see where that nice big chunk of base experience came from. As well as spotting 2 enemies, damaging 9 and destroying 5. Had I not destroyed 5 of them, I would have been eligible for Confederate, so I was damaging a fair amount of enemies. They had a very large presence on that side of the map, yet just because of the ridiculous armor of this thing, I was able to sit there in front of 5 or 6 tanks and just be fine for quite a bit. Distance traveled less than a kilometer. Not much of a surprise. Over in the profit column, we see that we actually made 19,000 credits with a premium account for probably some promotion at that point. Would have profited 2,000 pretty much with the standard account. Tier 8s don't make much money, especially when you fire a lot of shells. I'm expecting that when I do get the 120 on this, it'll make even less, money than it usually does. And tier 8s they just generally break even. You go under when you have a bad game. When you have a very good game, you get a little profit. That's just how tier 8s run. As for experience, we got 4,100 because of the double and the premium account bonus at the time, but the standard account you would have gotten 2,734 with the double. So it was a very nice game. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time, I will see you guys then. Goodbye.